In this tutorial, we'll talk about the power rule. Whenever we need to find the derivative of x raised to some power, the power rule says, if f of x equals x to the power of n, then f prime of x equals n times x to the power of n minus 1. In other words, bring the exponent down front and subtract 1 from it. And here's something important. This works for any real number n as long as n is not 0. All right, first example. F of x equals 1 divided by x to the power of 10. That's the same as x to the power of negative 10. Now, bring the negative 10 down front and subtract 1 from it. The derivative is negative 10 times x to the power of negative 11. Next up, the square root of x. We can rewrite square root of x as x to the power of 1/2. Bring the 1/2 down front and subtract 1 from it. 1/2 minus 1 gives us negative 1/2, so the derivative is 1/2 times x to the power of negative 1/2. Now let's do 1 over the square root of x. That's the same as x to the power of negative 1/2. Bring the negative 1/2 down front and subtract 1 again. That gives us negative 1/2 times x to the power of negative 3/2. For our last example, f of x equals the cube root of x to the power of 5. We can rewrite that as x to the power of 5/3. Bring 5/3 down front, subtract 1 from it. That gives 2/3. So the derivative is 5/3 times x to the power of 2/3. Nice and clean. So that's the power rule. It works beautifully with negative exponents, roots, and fractional powers too. Get comfortable rewriting functions into power form, and this rule becomes almost automatic. Now we'll look at the most common mistakes students make when applying this rule, and how to avoid them. We've got mistake number 0. That's when students forget to like and subscribe, and then wonder why they missed the next big tutorial. Don't be that student. Hit the button. It's free. All right, let's go over mistake 1. Forgetting to subtract 1. Let's say f of x equals x to the power of 5. A common mistake is to say the derivative is 5x to the power of 5. That's wrong, because we forgot to subtract 1 from the exponent. The correct derivative is 5x to the power of 4. Always remember, power comes down, exponent goes down by 1. Mistake 2. Misapplying the rule to fractions. Another common slip is when there's a fraction. For example, f of x equals 1 divided by 3x cubed. Students sometimes just turn that into 3 to the negative 3. But the constant doesn't magically become 3. We rewrite it as 1/3 times x to the power of negative 3. Then apply the power rule. The derivative becomes 1/3 times negative 3 times x to the power of negative 4. Boom, correct. Mistake 3. Mixing up power rule and exponential rule. Here's a sneaky one. F of x equals 2 to the power of x is not a power function. It's exponential. The power rule doesn't work here. We use the exponential rule instead. So the derivative is 2 to the power of x times the natural log of 2. We'll cover the exponential rule in its own lesson. Mistake 4. Ignoring product rule. Let's look at f of x equals x squared times x cubed. Some students try to apply the power rule to each piece separately. But, since both factors are powers of x, we can simplify first. X squared times x cubed is x to the power of 5. Now, apply the power rule. Derivative, 5x to the power of 4. Mistake 5. Forgetting the chain rule. This is a classic one. F of x equals x squared plus 1 cubed. The outer function is something to the power of 3, so we bring down the 3 and keep the inside the same. But don't forget the chain rule. We have to multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is 2x. So the correct derivative is 3 times x squared plus 1 squared times 2x. Outer first, then inner. Always. So to recap, bring the power down, subtract 1 from the exponent, watch out for constants and fractions. Don't mix exponential and power rules, and always check if the chain rule or product rule is hiding in there. If this helped, make sure to check out the next lesson, where we'll tackle the exponential rule step by step.